and welcome to Story in Stone. My name is Amanda and we are here for November 2024's Oracle reading for the month for the collective. Just before we start, I want to say that this is a general reading for a lot of people and it may not resonate with you, and if it doesn't, then that's fine. Just go on about your day. If it does resonate with you, I'd love to hear about it. If you could send me feedback or comments either in the comment section below or via DM if you're watching this on the Facebook page, that would be great. And if you like what you see here today, then I'd love it if you could follow my Facebook page or like and subscribe to my Facebook channel. For more information about what I do, you can go to www.storyandstone.com.au. Today I am using the gold foil tarot deck once again because I'm just loving the sparkliness of this for spring. And we are also going to get a message from the universe from the Heal Yourself Oracle by Inna Segal. So we'll do that after the main reading. Okay, so life would be grand if people didn't get involved, wouldn't it? If we didn't have to deal with other people, life would be pretty good. Seriously though, this month is looking like, especially your opportunities and your challenges. The Queen of Swords and the King of Wands have popped their heads back up. And we've got a court card in every single position in this spread. So I'm going to look at the overview first. And for the overview, we've gotten the Eight of Wands and the King of Cups. Now, the Eight of Wands doesn't look like a very positive card, does it? She's tied up, she's surrounded by swords, she's blindfolded. But actually, if you look, she's not tied very tight. Her blindfold, I think if you look really closely, she can peek underneath it. And the swords have a great big gap in between them, so she could just walk out of the circle. And this card is talking about the illusions that we tell ourselves that make us feel trapped. And that's what this poor girl is doing. She's telling herself stories that actually are not true. They're not reality. And if she just took the blindfold off and wriggled out of the ropes, then she would see that actually she's got choices. And she can make a choice and get to where she wants to go. But at the moment, she's feeling a bit trapped. And so this month for November, I'm feeling maybe like you feel like you have to do all this stuff, especially with Christmas coming up and end of year celebrations and businesses getting busy in that last push before they close for holidays and things like that. So you may be feeling like you don't have a lot of control over where you spend your time during the day. And what this card is saying is that you need to be aware of the fact that actually we always have a choice, even when we think we don't. And we need to be aware of that during the month of November. Now, the King of Cups, we've had him come up quite a bit. And we actually had him in the Wednesday weekly reading. And he, once again, is coming up. They're really pushing his shadow side, which is that he doesn't communicate very well. He doesn't connect with people around him, and he doesn't express his emotion. And usually the King of Cups is really good at this. He can be a little bit standoffish, but this one is saying, don't isolate yourself. If you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling like you're trapped, talk to someone who can give you a different perspective on what's going on in your life. Express your emotions. Connect with the people you love and who are around you. And don't be that man on the island all by himself, which is what the shadow side of the King of Cups represents. So November's going to be, I feel like the energy is really frenetic, a little bit busy, like everybody's trying to get things done so that they can have a really good Christmas. And I know that feeling because I'm actually doing that. I've already messaged my sisters and said, tell me what the kids want because I want my shopping and everything done for Christmas by November. And they all just sent me back laughing emojis, like, yeah, right, that's going to happen. But I have a feeling that everybody's going to try and be that organized this year. So there's a little bit of pressure that we're putting on ourselves that we don't necessarily have to do. You know, it doesn't matter if everything's not really finished. So that's basically the overview. So you can still have a good November. You just have to remember that when you start to feel that frustration or feel like you're trapped, that there actually is a way out, and you need to stop that spiral that we often go into, you know, oh God, this is such a terrible situation, blah, 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 and go, stop. When I listened to the November reading at Story in Stone, they said that I'm going to feel like this, but I have choices. So let's look at what my choices are. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into a little bit more detail for the month. Okay, for the detail, we have the Knight of Swords, another fast energy, and we have the Three of Cups. So it's not all grim and frustration, because the Three of Cups is a really, really positive card. It's all about celebration. So it is quite possible that you could be celebrating a wedding or a birthday or a birth or graduations or even Christmas parties. Some Christmas parties get started in November. But the detail of it is that even though you're going to feel this frustration and you might not want to communicate with people, there's still going to be some really good opportunities to socialize and celebrate what's happened during the year, or celebrate what's culminating at the end of 2024. Now, the Knight of Swords, he's a very quick energy. The swords are all about intelligence and new ideas and concepts and forward thinking. And the Knight of Swords is ready for all of this. He's go, 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 go. He's very quick-spirited, can be a little bit unthinking in the way that he delivers his message. If you know someone like this, just be wary that they may come in and create a bit of chaos, but that's okay, you know, because that's what life is about, chaos. And you'll want to be on the ball. You want to be thinking straight, so get plenty of sleep, eat nourishing food, get plenty of water and exercise. Don't forget to have your downtime, because the energy is really, really quick. And I actually feel like I'm being told that this is more about the energy of the month rather than an actual person. So yeah, you're going to have time to celebrate. Don't worry about that. There's going to be good times in November. And let's face it, by the time we get to November, we are all really quite tired and we're ready for a break. And this is saying, don't worry, it's coming, but you've just got this little push at the end to, get things moving and finish off and do those last bits and pieces, so that you can go through to the end of the year saying, well, I got it all done. Okay, so now we're going to look at the challenges. And this is where we come into maybe some people causing you a few headaches. We've got two Kings cards. We've got the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands, who I'm pretty sure we had in the challenge position last month. Okay, we'll do the King of Wands first. So as I said in the October reading, the King of Wands is a really great guy. People look up to him. He's really wise. He's in touch with his intuition. He loves to socialize. He's pretty happy to schmooze to get to where he wants to go. And he's really enthusiastic about his passion projects and all that sort of stuff. But sometimes he can forget that people are not caught up to him, or people don't feel as passionately about what he's into. And he doesn't sometimes filter that in when he's dealing with people. So keep an eye out for someone like that. Or if you don't have anybody who comes to mind when I'm talking about the King of Wands, it could be that it's you that's got the passion project. I know if I'm passionate about something, I can talk my husband's ear off. I can tell my whole family about it, and none of them really care because they're so different from me. But they're gracious enough to listen to me. But if I had just stopped for a minute, I would know, okay, they're not as interested in this as me. Maybe I should stop talking about it. So it's that type of energy. but it's still really good energy. But because it's in the challenge position, I'm feeling like you're either going to have a bit of conflict with someone with that personality, or you're going to display those personality traits. Now, the King of Pentacles, he's quite a bit different from the King of Wands because he's very conservative. He's quite risk adverse. He believes in hard work. He's not the type of king who dresses in really rich clothes, although I'm sure the Queen makes him do that at some stage. He'd rather be out, you know, on his property with the farm hands and the animals and the dogs and all that sort of stuff, chewing the fat basically. But he knows the importance of hard work and of building a strong financial foundation for him and his family. And the challenge this month is either you're going to butt heads with someone like that because you want to spend some money or do something that's a little bit risky, and you'll hit heads with someone who's like, no, we just need to stop and think about this before we make any moves and all that sort of stuff. So you're either going to have that type of challenge, or if it's about you, you're going to want to go blow it. I'm just going to spend some money, and little King of Pentacles is going to sit on your shoulder and say, planning for the future, short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. So just sort of remember that try not to make money and spend it just as fast. So they are your challenges for the month of November. Okay, so what opportunities are we being presented with? Well, we've got the Queen of Swords, and I'm pretty sure she was in the challenges last month. She's now in the opportunity. And we have the Page of Pentacles, so the son of the King of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Swords, as we all know, she follows her head, not so much her heart. She could be quite serious, but she's very loyal and dedicated. You want her on your side because I don't want to come up against anyone like her. She's doesn't like to be betrayed or made a fool of, so she will wipe you if you do any of those things to her. But if she's on your side, she will fight for you. And she's a really good planner and organizer. She's quite straight-laced, but she actually has quite a wicked sense of humor. And if you're lucky enough to see that, then that shows you that you're in with her, that she trusts you. So the opportunity might be here that to show that side to people who normally wouldn't be shown that side. It also might be a call to get up and get ready and stop messing around and plan, especially maybe for 2025, because I keep seeing that number. And she's sort of saying, okay, the opportunity is maybe start thinking about, maybe start planning about where you want to go in 2025. You don't have to do anything about it, but maybe just jot a few notes down. This is what I really want to do for 2025, and see how you go with that. Now, the Page of Pentacles. He's not quite as smart as his dad. He's not quite as risk averse, although he is still quite risk averse, as all the Pentacles are, but he's at the beginning of it all. He's at the beginning of learning how to create his financial foundation that will leave a legacy for him, will make sure that it sets his family up for the rest of their lives. He's at the beginning of that journey. And I really feel like both the Queen of Swords and the Page of Pentacles are not here as people, representing people, but as energy, because I'm feeling like they're being told to me 2025 is going to be a really good year to make sure that you've got all of your shit together. So, you know, I's dotted, T's crossed. Make sure you've got it, especially financial. So next year we're going into a 9 global year, which is all about completion, but it's also a very humanitarian type number. And this is saying, really, as you're completing the cycle, you want to make sure that you've tied up all your loose ends and don't do anything too risk averse. So I feel like both these are saying there's this opportunity here in November. Take advantage of it to start forward thinking, to tie up any loose ends, to make sure that you've set the wheels in motion to build that financial resource for yourself and your family, but also start planning and thinking ahead for 2025. Okay, so that's it for the main reading. So not as bad as we thought. I can see why we might be feeling like we're trapped. We have the illusion of why we feel trapped because there is quite a lot of strong energy here and some personalities that we might clash with. But I think if you just keep your head screwed on, you just stay calm and resourceful, I think you're going to have a pretty good November. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw a card from the Heal Yourself Oracle to see if there's any more information or guidance from the universe for the collective for November. Don't you just love these cards? Look. Oh. Okay. What extra guidance do you have from the universe for the month of November for the collective? Ooh. Okay. So I've drawn 3 cards here. I've got Wild, Self-Love, and Soulmate. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the Soulmate one first, and we are going to read from the guidebook, but I'm just going to give you what's coming through for me. Now, for some of you, this might mean that your eyes are going to meet across a crowded room at a Christmas party or a New Year's Eve party, and you're going to meet the one. It could mean that for you, but it could also mean that you might meet your business soulmate or your friendship soulmate, and it may not necessarily be the romantic relationship of your dreams, because often soulmates are sent to us to push us forward, which means that they cause chaos and a bit of grit. And you know, you often think, why the hell is this person in my life giving me the fucking shits? That's soulmate sometimes. I know that often media represents soulmate love and soulmate relationships as, oh, we're so in simpatico and, you know, we're just so in touch with each other. But often soulmate relationships are not like that at all. So be aware of that. If someone is actually rubbing you the wrong way, they could be the lesson that you need to learn. So I'll just do a quick reading from the guidebook. 14. Okay, so she's saying, open your heart and invite sacred love. Your soulmate is not far from you. To connect with them, you need to open your heart, call them in, and have patience. If you are not ready to accept your soulmate, keep working on self-love. Funny that we drew that card. You will be drawn to your soulmate like a magnet and feel an immense sense of familiarity, like you have known them before. Your capacity to love will increase dramatically and you will experience higher states of consciousness. No one can touch your heart in the same way that a soulmate can. It is important to note that your soulmate will not necessarily be your partner. He or she may come in a completely different form than you have imagined, but they will offer you incredible wisdom, growth, and expansion. Be aware that we connect with our soulmates when we are ready to truly evolve and move to the next level of consciousness and life experience. We attract them into our lives when we need to open our hearts fully and learn about unconditional love. So that's the first one, soulmate. And it's quite funny that both soulmate and self-love have been drawn from the deck today. And definitely self-love is very important, especially at this time of year when we try to meet so many expectations of families and friends and work and our own expectations on what we want this season coming up to be like. A lot of us have holidays at this time of year as we're going out of November and into December. But maybe if you do have holidays in December around Christmas, it might be a good time to think about how can I do something for myself, whether that's spending a day at the beach or going and having a pamper session, sorry, or just booking an appointment to see a therapist because you know you need someone to talk to that's not connected to you. So yeah, but also if that soulmate comes and you don't feel you're ready for it, as the guidebook says, it's time to still work on that self-love, that total self-acceptance. So I'll just give the reading. I'll just read what the guidebook says. Take time out to get to know yourself and what works for you in this particular cycle of your life. Some of the biggest obstacles to self-love are self-criticism and perfectionism, which lead to harsh judgment of the self, closing down, and eventually illness. Have you been trying to compete with others, get approval from family in your life? Get approval from people in your family, or simply pushing yourself too hard? If so, you need to soften and start listening to your body. Focus on keeping your heart open and practice acknowledging and recognizing the good in yourself and others. This card beckons you to breathe love in and out every moment of the day. Ask yourself, what changes do I need to make to my daily routine so that love can pulsate through every breath, action, and relationship I engage in? Choose to open your heart through softness, deep breathing, relaxation, movement, finding beauty in nature, in your home, in your pain, in your love, in your sadness, in prayer, and so on. Keep your heart open even though it makes you feel vulnerable and exposed. So that was the second card for the universal energy, or the universal extra guidance. The last card is 15, Wild. Okay, so I'm getting really different energy here from the card, from the way the card looks. The girl on the card, she's a little bit disheveled. She's sitting in the front of a boat with a lamp, and the boat has this dragon or monster type thing that's looking quite wild and scary, and it's night. Yet I'm getting that this card is telling us that we need to connect back to nature. We need to remember our true selves, which are wild and free and connected to nature and part of the system. I know I sound like a broken record, but they keep giving me this information because you guys are not listening. So start listening, and then I can say something else. So to me, this is talking about, this is talking about, it keeps giving me the words wild and free. So I'm thinking that it's like, get out of your routine, get out of your home, stop sitting under the air conditioning. I mean, I know it's blinking hot in WA over this period of time, but get out in the early morning or the early evening and get out and connect with nature again. And don't forget that primal urge inside of us to be part of nature, to be part of Gaia. Okay, so I'm going to read what it says in the guidebook. There is a wild, untamed spirit inside of you, desperate to be unleashed. Free it and claim the gifts of energy, power, passion, and creativity it offers you. Through suppressing your wild, succulent, outrageous, and untamed self, you dull your senses and crush your creativity. You shrink, lose your energy, and become depressed. Your relationships suffer, and your rage grows. You become ashamed, hostile, cold, boring, over-serious, and scared. You stop taking chances and live in mediocrity, constantly trying to protect yourself. The truth is that no one can judge you, punish you, or hurt you as much as you can. Give in to your wildness and stop living a sham. This part of you is sensual, provocative, truthful, courageous, bold, passionate, and alive. Set it free. So, and she has actions, which I haven't read out today, just because I'm trying to keep the video a little bit shorter, although looking at the time, I don't think I am going to get there. But her action is go into nature and, take your shoes off and feel the earth and the grass under your feet, breathe in the air, connect to the untamed quality of nature, basically. So that is it for November. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you go into November with a bit more enthusiasm than maybe what you thought you might when I first started doing this reading. It's going to actually be a pretty good month, I think, as long as we keep our heads screwed on, you know. Don't go crazy. Don't spiral into that depth of anxiety in that. I know it's hard for some of us. But just remember that there are always choices for us. We just need to make one choice, one tiny little baby step to get us out of the situation that is frustrating us or causing us stress and anxiety. And the best way you can do that is to connect emotionally, not only with your own emotions, but also to connect with the people who are around you who want to love and support you. And if you feel that you don't have anybody like that, then please reach out to a therapist or a counselor or somebody like that who can help you get back on track and to help you feel more in control of where you're going. Yeah, enjoy your party, whatever that celebration is, and remember there is a real kinship in when we get together to celebrate somebody's achievements or somebody's happiness. So really let yourself go, and I'm not talking about getting rolling ass drunk and passing out in the gutter. I'm talking about being unfettered. I'm talking about being wild, connecting with people that you maybe don't connect with very often, and just feeling that really group communal energy about you if you go into something like a wedding or a party or a birthday or something like that. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me a message or put them in the comments box below. I'll be happy to answer them for you. If you want to find out more about what I do, as I said at the beginning of the video, you can see what I do at www.storyandstone.com.au, or you can go to my Facebook page, which is Story and Stone. I hope you have enjoyed this reading today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye. Blessed be.